guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is a collaboration with the amazing Smoky Tarot. So we decided to do a video that would boost you guys up. So over on my side, we're going to be taking a look at what people miss about you when you're no longer around, or when you're not in their life anymore. And then over on the part 2, which will be on Smoky Tarot's channel, she'll be taking a look at what makes you stand out. So I'm super excited. So thank you so much for collaborating with me. I'm ready to boost you guys up. Let's get in. So we have 4 piles for you guys to choose from. Pile number 1, we have the blue calcite. Pile number 2, we have the amber. Pile number 3, we have the malachite. And pile 4, we have the black obsidian with the clear quartz chips. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box below. I will have the link to Smoky Tarot's channel in the description box as well, so you can head over there to watch part 2 when you're done over here. And yeah, let's get into the video. Hello and welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what do people miss about you when you're not around or when you're no longer in their life. So you guys chose the blue calcite. I'm going to place this in the corner and we are going to get straight in. I'm going to start with tarot and then we'll move on to the oracle cards. Straight away, I do want to say there's like a lingering smell, like in a nice way, not like a earth smell, like a nice smell. Like I feel like you guys have like a distinct perfume, or you guys wear a super strong perfume that I feel like it's one of those things where, you know, when you know someone and they wear like a perfume and it's like their signature, and then you're not around them for a while and then you smell it and you're like, oh my god, that reminds me of this person. There's something about that. Or like, say now, like in regards to like exes or something like that, if you would have like worn their clothes or like been around them in that way, like your scent would rub off. So when you're not around, like the smell would stay there. And I'm not gonna say like a certain perfume or cologne because nothing like distinct is coming through and there's a lot of you watching, but that's something that I'm picking up really strongly, like a scent, really strongly that people remember about you. So that's one of those things. I feel like you may be known for smelling good or just having that, you know, that essence to you. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides, what do people miss about my pile number 1s when they're not around? What do people miss about my pile number 1s when they are not around? So we have the 7 of Pentacles. What do my pile number 1s miss? What do my pile number 1s miss? What do people miss about my pile number 1s even? What do people miss about my pile number 1s when they're not around? We have the Queen of Swords. Okay. What do people miss about my pile number 1s when they're not around? Temperance. What do people miss about my pile number 1s when they're not around, spirit guides? What do people miss? We have the Tower. Okay. I'm hearing as well, I saw it with the 7 of Pentacles and then with the Tower here. I almost feel like, you know, if you've been in like friend groups or like family situations, you almost feel like the glue. You come through like a very stable, nurturing mother, father type of person where you feel like the glue that holds everything together. There's almost this feeling like, say there was a friend group and you stepped away. Like, I feel like you're the, not the middleman, but I feel like you are the voice of reason in a lot of ways. I almost feel like you're the type of person that stopped things from escalating. It reminds me of myself, like, my mother and my sister have a lot of fire energy in their chart. And I'm a lot more, like, balanced. So there'll be, like, a lot of arguments and shouting and, you know, all of that. And then I'm just the one in the middle, kind of, like, balancing that. And they're showing me that to show, like, you balance people, you balance people out, or where people could go to extremes, I feel like you're able to like rein people back in. There's like a hold that you have, there's like stability here, because I was looking at like glue in the cracks and we have the Tower card literally here. So it's almost like when you're not around, I'm not saying when you're not around everything falls apart, but I'm saying like you have that balanced, safe feeling where it's almost like you're the skeleton to the body sort of thing. Like if there was no bones, the whole body would just like flop on the floor. You know what I mean? So it's like that. It's like that's what I'm picking up. We have the Ace of Swords at the back of the deck, which I will keep in view. I'll probably put it right here. That makes sense. Okay. Pile number one, please, for guides. Pile number one, what do people miss about my pile number ones when they're not around? Yeah, I feel as well. Another thing that I do want to say, there's something about your voice, and I'm hearing the word delicate. I keep being taken to like Taurus as well. You may have like your second house in like a water sign, your Mercury in like a water sign. There's something very soothing about the way that you speak. I keep hearing like silk, like delicate, like a feather. There's something about that. I feel like, I don't know if you guys break out into songs sometimes. If you do, I feel like that's something that people miss about you. But there's just something very calming and soothing about you guys. And the way that you use your voice, or the way that you talk. I almost feel like I'm hearing sincerity, like in the way that you speak. You really reassure people. You really comfort people. You feel like a home from home. That's something that I'm being shown. You feel safe. You know, like when you think of like silk bed sheets, so you think of like a really like fluffy cushion, and that feeling of like getting into bed, and that feeling, it just feels safe and it feels comfortable. Like you have that sort of energy, like a cloud, like a fluffy cloud. Like it's that sort of energy that I feel people miss, having that safe space to fall into when you're not around. People miss not having, I'm hearing your touch as well. Like I feel like you guys may be very touchy-feely, or you may be very confident to people, whether it's just like holding their hand or giving them hugs or something like that, or even just your energy may just feel like a warm hug if you're not very physically attentive. I feel like that's something that people really miss about you as well. I keep picking up a strong smell. It smells like really, it smells like, I don't know if you smell the Victoria's Secret body spray, Ocean Breeze, I think it's called, the blue one. I think it's called Ocean Breeze. It's like that sort of smell, like a watery peppermint. I don't know if someone burns peppermint oil. That's another thing as well. I feel like, are you someone that like when you're at home or you're in someone's home, like you make the bed, you make things look nice? I feel like if I was to come to your home or your bedroom or whatever the case, like it would be really comfortable, like the fuzzy socks, the like soft blankets, the like humidifiers and the essential oils and just the smells and everything. I feel like there's just a coziness that you bring, and I feel like that touch, whether it's like you staying over someone's house or someone living with you, or whether it's like birthday presents you buy someone, Christmas presents, just gifts you buy them, I just feel like you're very practical and comforting, like that strong like Cancer energy coming through, very comforting and nurturing like that. So I feel like that is something that people really miss about you. I also am being taken to like, if you guys bake for people or cook, or if you lived with someone where you baked a lot and cooked a lot, whether it's like cookies or like cakes or anything like that, I'm being taken to baking, but it could be cooking as well. Like I've actually been showing someone flipping a burger too. So there's something about that, and I just, the way that you make it's like, I don't know, you do have a very motherly energy. It does feel like very Cancer-y. You may have a lot of Cancer placements, like fourth house placements. Yeah, that's something coming through as well. And I feel like, I just feel you're someone as well, even in an emotional sense. This is why I'm picking up the water. You're probably my water pile then. I weed you out somehow. Yeah, so I feel like emotionally as well, you're able to hold a lot of weight for people, and I feel like people really respect that about you. I feel like you're someone that just, even if you don't say a whole lot, I just feel like energetically people feel you in that way. That's something that I'm picking up. Now I'm also picking up as well that you guys are very intuitive and very intelligent, because with the Queen of Swords here, I almost feel like you're able to give really good advice, and I feel like you're able to talk people up or hit the spots of people that need healing, in the sense that, say if somebody's feeling insecure, they may not say it, but you can intuitively pick up on it, and then you'd like big them up in that area because you're just drawn to do it. Little did you know they needed you know, a little bit of a boost in that area. Or if someone's just having a hard day but they don't like to ask for affection, you just feel the need to give them a hug, and you know what I mean, it would mean a lot to them. So there's little things like that. But I also feel with the Queen of Swords as well, I feel like you're someone that very motherly and very fatherly as well, would like stick up for people. I feel like when you're specifically in like friends lives, I feel like you really stick up for people, you're really there for them. I feel like you're very loyal as a person, and I feel like a lot of the time as well, people don't even realize how loyal you are until you're not in their life, and then they have other friends that aren't as loyal and are a bit shady, and then they're like, whoa, that person really was like ride or die for me, I should have appreciated that more. And I think that's something that people miss about you, is that your loyalty and your attentiveness to other people's feelings. You may have a lot of Libra energy in your chart as well. That's something that's coming through, like Libra moon, Libra Venus, Libra Mars. That's what I'm being shown. I feel like you really do think of the other person. I feel like you're one of those people where it's very much like it's you and me, like we're a team sort of thing, to the people that you're around. Like you really think of them. And I think, again, I think sometimes people don't realize it till you're out of their life and they're dealing with people that don't have those same morals, and then it's like, wow, I miss my pal one, because they're like, they really cared, like they were actually like a really great part of a foundation. And now it's like, oh, you know. I'm hearing that song, Lean On Me When You're Not Strong, I'll Be Your Friend. The only reason I know it is my friend, like from like a couple of years ago, she used to sing it a lot. So whenever I hear it, I don't hear the actual song, I hear her singing it in my brain. And she had this really like, she knows that she wasn't the best singer, but she had this really high-pitched voice. It's funny. But I just feel as well like you, even that memory for me coming through, I feel like you lift up people maybe with your humor. It's funny because you come through like mature, like, you know, the mother father energy, the Cancer Capricorn energy, like you come through like that, but then you have this really beautiful inner child-esque to you that also feels confident, because it's like you hold space for people to maybe watch like more childhood movies or do more things that connect to their inner child, but you create a safe space for them to do it. And I think that's something that people miss about you as well, because not a lot of people are like that, and I feel like you are, you know what I mean. You hold that space for them. And I'm also being told, especially with siblings, like I'm hearing the song from, it was Miley Cyrus and Billy Ray Cyrus, they did it together. It was on one of Miley Cyrus's albums. I remember it when I was younger, and I can't remember the name of the song. I think it was called I Learned From You, and they sing, I learned from you that I do not crumble, I learned that strength is something that you choose. I can't remember the rest of the lyrics, but it was like Miley saying to Billy Ray Cyrus, like, I learned to be strong because of you, obviously, because he was her dad. So I feel like there's younger siblings or something that look up to you in that way, that I feel like even growing older will have that respect that you created, that, you know, loving environment for them. There is an essence of that. They keep taking me to the 4th house, like a lot of activity going on there. But yeah, with the 7 of Pentacles, I just feel like you help people become, with the Temperance card, then become the best version of themselves. You really light people up. You give them and show them the tools that you used to become the best version of you. You know, you plant the seed, the water, you teach them how to do it, and you hype them up and instruct them to do it so that they're able to stand on their own. Whereas it could have been this Tower energy, but you were able to bring that. And I feel like you bring, with the Ace of Swords, I feel like you bring a lot of clarity and a lot of structure to a lot of people's lives where they might have felt lost. And I feel like in ways sometimes you've drawn in people in the past that may have been broken birds and may have just been sailing and not really having a destination. I feel like you were able to anchor them in ways. I feel like you're an anchor to a lot of people, and that's what's missed about you then, because it's like when people feel lost and you're not there. I'm hearing Leave the Light On by, I don't know his name, Alan Walker, I think. I may be wrong. I may be very wrong with the name, but it's called I Will Leave a Light On, and then it's like, I actually can't remember the lyrics, but you'll probably be able to find it if you just type in I Will Leave a Light On. But he's basically singing to friends that were going through a hard time, like that he'd be like the lighthouse and leave the light on sort of thing. So I feel like you do have, you know, a strong energy like that, and I just think you come across as really sweet, but I feel like the closer you get to you, people realize how strong you are, because those roots go deep, you know. And I think you have a beautiful balance of your divine mother, divine father energy within you. And I think, especially where you are now, I feel like you've really grown into that too. And I feel like, you know, whoever wouldn't be in your life now that would have had that, I feel like that's what they'd miss about you. I think, especially with people as well that, you know, maybe you had like a bad fallout with, I feel like they may have a hard time. You know, sometimes when you fall out with someone, and then you'll have those people that for no reason just want to make that person the bad guy, because they do, you know, people do that. I feel like even people that try to make you out to be the bad guy, I feel like they have a hard time finding a reason to make you the bad guy, sort of thing. Yeah, so pile 1, please, spirit guides. Someone's been cooking in this house and it smells really nice. Which, oh my god, okay, so I know it's probably my sister that's cooking. And I was saying about your cooking and baking, and I could smell like a really lovely home cooked meal. I can smell that, like, because it's not like class, like it's not like my abilities. I literally can smell it from downstairs. So I love how that's happened while I was doing your reading, because I think it's confirmation that, are you like someone that's always cooking? Did you cook for siblings, or did you like did you cook for people when they came home? I'm really picking that up strong, especially with it coming into the physical reality of like, I'm smelling my sister's cooking. Very interesting. I'm hearing empanadas. I'm hearing that someone may have cooked them. Pile number 1. I'm also hearing casserole as well. Someone here cooked casserole. Someone misses it. I feel like someone misses that. Pile number 1. We have love and prosperity. We literally have the Queen. So I feel like you're very well respected, and I feel like people miss the unconditional love that you give. People miss the generosity. People miss the attentiveness. Because it's cold out here in these streets, I'm being told. So it's like people miss that about you, your warmth, the way that you give love, you know. People really, really miss that. And I feel like sometimes people don't realize it until it's too late. Pile number 1, please. Spirit guide, what do people miss about my pile 1s? Your luck will soon change. We have the black cat. And you know, like, even with cat animals as well, like, when we think of all that cats do for us, I mean, on the outside looking in, if you don't have a cat, you just think they walk around, eat and chill out. But anyone who has a cat, especially anyone that works in the spiritual field and has a cat and understands how energy works, knows how much weight a cat holds, like the energy they take in, the nurturing. They're so intuitive. They know when to be around you. It's like you have that, you know what I mean? And it's like, as well, when that love goes, like when an animal passes, and it's just like that unconditional love that animal gives. I know, because I've lost animals that I've had in my life for like decades, and like, you know, it's a pain, like that pain in the heart, because it's like that pure love that sometimes in human beings you don't see, and then someone like you comes in with that pure love, and then when it's taken away, it's like it's kind of indescribable in that way. And I felt that strong feeling with the black cat that came through, like a grief, you know. Pile number, because what you have to offer as well is a very attentive, pure love as well. I feel like maybe in the past you've had to learn to balance it, but I feel like where you are now, you feel very strong. I feel like the love you have to give now is a very balanced, very beautiful love that you give out. And I feel like maybe in the past, people that didn't know how to receive that, maybe you would overgive at times, so there was a huge abundance of it, and then people didn't know how to receive it, may have pushed it away. But then when you left, it was like, oh my god, I really missed that. I don't think I'm gonna get that again. I missed that, sort of thing. So there's an essence of that coming through, but I feel like where you're at right now, you're very balanced in it. The mystic circle, your abilities will be enhanced. I feel like you do have healing abilities. I feel like you are a strong empath, and I feel like people miss as well your intuitive nudge to tap into certain sides of them and soothe and cradle those parts of themselves. I'm literally hearing cradle. I feel like you really do give a lot, and I think even sometimes it might not even be physical, maybe it's emotional. Like you really hold a lot of emotional weight for people, again, like cats, you know what I mean? Like you hold that, and then people don't understand it to that capacity, and then when you're gone, it's like there's this missing feeling. They might not even be able to put their finger on it, but it was your aura and your essence and the work you were doing that may not have been physical, you know. So that's something that people miss about you too. We also have Earth. Utilize logic, reason, and common sense. See, there's still a very practical lens to you. There's a very balanced lens to you. I feel like you're the type of person that someone would want to build with. You're the type of person that someone would want to go on a trip with, because you'd be like the organized one. And I feel like bringing that order to chaos is something that people miss. And I feel like in your past, I feel like people may not have even seen the depths that you can go with that, because to be able to really weather a storm, you have to really root yourself and get to the bottom of your roots, which is really scary, again, to the core of your being, because you have to infiltrate a lot of your shadow, and then also even ascending and reaching that point, there has to be this level of expansion and love to reach that point. And I feel like you've gone both ways to really balance yourself, and I think sometimes people can't even comprehend the capacity of the depths that you hold within to be able to hold that for other people, so they can't even put their finger on it when it's gone, you know. We have air at the back of the deck. Seek a union of mind and spirit. Yeah, I just feel like, how do I explain this? Spirit, help me put this into words, the feeling that I'm feeling. It's like it's weird to put into words. You feel like a fluffy cloud, and then someone's like going through a storm, and you just kind of absorb the energy and bring that sense of stillness to like the oceans, if that makes sense. But it feels so drifty, like a cloud, and you make it look very simple and, again, delicate, like a flower, but the energy of transmutation is like it's heavy, and there's a lot of power that you have there. And I think that's something that people miss as well. And I just think as well, I don't know, I feel like you look at life as well in a very optimistic way, in a very enchanting way. I'm literally hearing enchanting. I'm actually hearing Ella Enchanted. Remember that movie with Anne Hathaway? I'm hearing that. I feel like you look at life in that way, and I think that's something that people miss when you're gone as well. That like sparkle and that glitter and that heavenly feeling that I feel like you bring to people's lives in that way of looking at life in a very, I can do anything. I feel like that's something that is missed, because I feel like you also big people up to be able to do anything too, and that's missed when you're not around. So Palawan, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed and it resonated for you. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'll have the link to Smokey Taro's channel in the description box. You guys can head over there and watch part 2 of the reading. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey part 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what people miss about you when you are not around. The first thing I'm hearing is that you're a firecracker. I literally hear that word firecracker, and I'm being told your passion is something that people miss about you. I feel like you have this zest for life, and I feel like when you are around people, I feel like you're a very fun person to be around. I feel like I don't know if you have a lot of fire energy in your chart. Maybe you have a fire ascendant, but there is that energy of you just being very, I wouldn't say domineering, although I do feel you have a strong masculine energy within you. It doesn't matter what gender you are, we all have, you know, the balance of that. I just feel you have that masculine-esque within you, that fire energy within you, and I just feel like you're really fun. I feel like you're quite spontaneous. That's something that's coming through, and I feel like people really miss that. I feel like you're the type of okay, you know, it's come through in a reading before, but you know 13 going on 30, if you've ever watched the movie. So there was a character called Jana Rink, and she was basically like her 13-year-old self, but in her 30-year-old body, like, basically. And obviously she had that naiveness and funness that like you have as a child, right? And they're at like a party, and it's like really bland and boring, and everybody's leaving, and they ask her to do something, and she gets in the middle of the floor and she starts dancing to Thriller. And obviously no one's doing that because people are scared of what they look like, but she still has that childlike essence to the point where she's like, I'm just going to dance to Thriller. I don't really care what people think of me. And then what happens then is, because it's so infectious, everybody on the dance floor starts dancing to Thriller and everybody's having like a great time. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're that person that just gets people involved. I feel like you're that person that still has a strong connection to your inner child. And I feel like you help people feel confidence to where they don't care what people think. It's like, I don't care, I'll be unapologetic like this person. I feel like your aura, your essence, like that does rub off on people, and I feel like that's something that people miss about you then when you're gone. I'm hearing that song, There's No Sunshine When She's Gone. I'm hearing that. So I feel like you definitely have like a strong resonance with people in that way. It's almost like when the sun goes out and it's cloudy and then you miss the sun. It feels like that. So I'm gonna place this in the corner. You chose the amber crystal. What was I going to say then? You may have a lot of Leo energy in your chart for the sun to be coming through that strongly. A lot of 5th house placements, especially with like the inner child energy. So yeah, definitely maybe 5th house placements. Yeah. You may have friends as well that you've known since childhood, or I feel like maybe a lot of people from childhood remember you a lot. There's something about that coming through as well. Yeah. That's coming through. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides. What do people miss about my pile 2s? Oh god, your cards just bursted out. Am I using these? No. Okay. What do people miss about my pile number? What do people miss about my pile number 2s? There was a okay, so there's a celebrity from Wales. She was on reality TV, like a Jersey Shore, Geordie Shore thing. It was a Welsh version of it, and it was called The Valleys, right? And there was a girl on there called Letitia, her name was. Some of you guys may know her name, Letitia Grace, and she's like a socialite kind of in the UK now. But I don't think she does it anymore, because I don't think I follow her anymore, but she used to every Friday do a Instagram video where she would dance, and it wasn't just like dancing, it was like silly dancing. Like, she'd make a fool of herself, and I feel like she's known for being quite funny, quite out there, quite boisterous in ways, but it's funny. And I feel like you have that sort of essence. I feel like you'd be the type of person to just do like a silly dance on social media like that, to just get people like laughing. That's the feel that you give. I feel like you lift people's spirits like that. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Page of Pentacles. Pile number 2. Tap me into the collective of pile number 2, please, spirit guides. What do people miss about my pile number 2? We have Temperance. What do people miss about my pile number 2s, please, spirit guides? What do people miss? What do people miss about my pile 2s? Ace of Wands. We have the Two of Cups. I feel like for you, who misses you the most is a lot of like exes or like romantic suitors. I thought it with the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, because there's a lot of looking back to you, remembering your memory, and almost looking to you as like a blueprint of, you know, when you think of someone, you're like, okay, what would this person do? Like, first, when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of confidence, and I would walk into like interviews for jobs when I was younger and be like, right, what would Beyonce do? How would Beyonce deal with it? She deal with it like a boss, okay? Or like, what would Rihanna do? I remember doing that when I was younger, and I hear that. But for you, I feel like when you're in people's lives, I feel like you give them ego boosts, you lift them up, you are that life of the party. So I feel like sometimes I'm even seeing somebody do it in their brain. Okay, what would, you know, my pal number 2s do? Like, what would they do? Like, how would they deal with the situation? Because they seem to like get through that. So what would they do? Or how would they assert their boundaries like this? Or how would they style this? You know what I mean? This outfit, there's something about the way you look as well. So there's a thing of like putting themselves in your brain. So I don't know whether when you had friends or even like relationships and you kind of tell them what to wear or help them with outfits, or designing like homes and things like that, or their bedroom or their kitchen or whatever the case, like there's a feeling of like, what would they do? Let's put myself in their vision. What would they do? And I feel like they miss your creative outlook. That's something that I'm being told. But when I look at this Page of Pentacles here, and he's holding that up. And then we also have the Page of Wands and the Two of Cups at the back of the deck. It's like there's almost like exes or people that you've been romantic with or had that energy. It's like they almost remember and miss the way you'd... Do you know what? There's no even word for it, pile 2. It's just your presence alone. The way you'd make them laugh, the silly things you'd say, the way you'd boost them up and make them feel good, the light that you brought to their life and the optimism that you brought to their life, their excitement, because I feel like you're a really exciting person. The excitement you bring to their life, the humor, just the way you'd word things in a way that was only you. Like, I feel like you're one of those people where people think back to you because it's like nothing that you do surprises them, but also it's like, no, you're one of a kind. That's it. Thank you, Spirit. One of a kind. Like, you're like that. One of a kind. I don't know why I'm being shown ruby slippers, the Dorothy. I have no idea why that's in my brain, but I'm being shown that. But yeah, just very... Yeah, do you know what I think? Why I'm being shown Wizard of Oz is like, you know when you have those classic movies and you could put it down to the music in the movie, you could put it down to the characters, but at the end of the day, it's the whole thing, the production, everything, the era that it was in. It was the whole thing that made it unique. And it's like a movie like Mean Girls, you can't create it, or Clueless, or The Labyrinth, or, again, Wizard of Oz, like The Notebook, let's say. You have that whole package that can't really be replicated in that sense, because I could sit here and name 100 things that people miss about you: the way you look, the way you speak, the vibrancy that you have because you're very vibrant, you know, the colourful way you just deal with things in your personality. I could name it all, but it's the whole thing that people miss. It's just you. You know what I mean? It's literally just you that people miss. It's everything. It's the whole package. I'm having trouble trying to put that into words, but it's that whole package. And I feel like who misses you the most, I feel it's like exes or people from your past that you were romantic with. If you don't have that, it's fine, could just be like friends, but I feel like it's those people that miss you the most, people that were on the receiving end of, you know, this colorful brightness that you brought to them, you know what I mean, these sparks. I feel like they're the ones that I feel miss you the most and think back to you the most. I feel like you're a very exciting person, and people miss the excitement and the fun that they would have when you were around, sort of thing. And I think that for you guys specifically, pal, too, I feel like people do miss you and ponder on you and almost fantasize about if you were still in their life, what would you be doing, sort of thing. I think that's something that people do a lot. I'm really being taken to the crystal you chose, which correlates to the sacral chakra, and I am being taken to the sensual side. So I feel like I have to keep it PG because, you know, YouTube don't like to talk about those things, but I feel like bedroom wise, I feel like people miss that aspect of you too. I don't know why I'm being taken to the voice, so I don't know why that there was like talking involved or like the phone version of it involved sensual wise, but yeah, I feel like that may be something. I'm hearing the Kesha song Dirty Picture, you know the song like Take a Dirty Picture from Me. I'm hearing that. So maybe there was that, maybe that's what people miss, I don't know. I have to keep it PG, but there's something there that people miss as well, specifically like obviously like exes and stuff like that, so that's coming through. Yeah, I feel like never a dull moment, and that's the part that people miss. I feel like people do think back to you a lot as well when they feel stuck or when they feel like life's got repetitive. I feel like, because I'm hearing there's someone in particular that really misses you, and I'm hearing the Girls Aloud song, Life Got Cold. You know, they sing Life Got Cold. When life got cold, it happened many years ago when summer slipped away. Oh my god, what is that? I feel like Cardi B. What is that? Oh, it's a fly. I was wondering what that was then. Like I'm hearing the Cardi B because of the fly there, and I was like, what is that? But I feel like Cardi B even coming through as well. I feel like Cardi B is a very vibrant and, you know, confident person, and she's really funny. I remember when she came in the scene and it was like so fresh because of how she just didn't care. I feel like you're like that, you know. And I also feel like the way that you dress and the way that you put things together, it's very unique and tailored to you, because you are very one of a kind, very unique like that. Yeah, that's something coming through as well. But I feel like with friendships as well, you're super loyal and passionate. Like there's this fiery passion that comes through, and I feel like even with friendships, I feel like you really back people's corners too. I feel like if anyone's ever been around you and you've really fought for them, like stuck up for them and really put someone in their place, like they miss that when you're gone as well. The loyalty, similar to pal number 1, but yours feels more like a firecracker. Like, I will stand next to you with my sword and I will fight with you. Like, it's that sort of energy from you guys. Yeah, 100%. I feel like a lot of people do fantasize about you a lot. I feel like people may even try and manifest you back in. I feel like you blaze a lot of trails. I'm hearing that person's a law unto themselves. Like, I feel like you just kind of like move about in your own way. I feel like I'm hearing headstrong. Do you remember that Ashley Tisdale song, Headstrong? I'm hearing that very headstrong person. But romantic partners do fantasize about you a lot. But I feel like you're very much tailored to yourself. I feel like you're someone that doesn't need anyone. Your song, I don't need a man to make it happen. That's coming through. We have the moon. You will be guided through darkness. So what was I saying about you guys being a light to people? You guys being the sun. And obviously the sun lights up the dark. So with you will be guided through darkness, I feel like people do ponder over your light when you're gone. They almost feel like it's a bit dark or dismal when you're gone because of their I was going to say the juice that you bring. I don't know why I wanted to say juice, but it's just the vibrancy that you bring. Pal 2. What do people miss? The shield. You are safe from harm. See, this is what I mean. Like, fiercely protective. I feel like that's what you are. I feel like with pile 1, it was like people feel safe because they felt like mother, father. I feel like people feel safe because you're like that loyal, just person. I'm going like this. It's like you're that loyal person. It's like, don't try my person, because you're very passionate about people. So it's like, don't like, you're like a shield. Like, no. And I feel like maybe in relationships you're very like, this person's mine, like mine. And I feel like people do miss that protectiveness, like, you know, fearlessness, like around your partner, like this person's mine. Like, sometimes maybe you might get a little jealous, or people would feel that way, and I feel like people miss their feeling of that, and you know, it would make them feel special, and I feel like that is what people miss as well. Pile number 2, what do people miss about my pile number 2 is we have the Knight, triumph over adversity. So I feel like you're light and you like blaze in that trail. I feel like every time you get knocked down, you jump back up. I feel like anytime life hits you, it's like you just have this optimism that like brings you back up. And I feel like that bleeds on to people, where if they're going through something, you shine that light on them, like, you can get back up. What do you want about? Like, who cares what people think, or who cares that that's happened? Let's work through it. Let's, you know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna let something like this thing us down. We've gone through worse, and let's get up, let's do it. And I feel like you champion people like that, and that's something that's missed, because sometimes it's hard for people to get that on their own. It's hard for people to lift themselves up on their own. I feel like you've done it a lot, so you're able to do it for other people, whereas sometimes people aren't able to do that, and they may need a cheerleader, and I feel like that's where they miss you. You're a very generous and genuine person, and I think that's just something people miss. And I think you do speak your mind and you speak your truth a lot, and I feel like that's something that people miss about you as well. You being straightforward. You know, sometimes people can be a bit passive. Sometimes people can not know how to assert boundaries, or not feel comfortable asserting boundaries yet, or may hide how they're feeling and then have it blow up later. Whereas you're someone where it's like, in the moment, you're just going to say how you feel and get that out in the open. And I feel like you allow space then for other people to do that. And I think that's something that people miss, the straightforwardness that you bring as well. Pile number, I feel like you're the life of the party. I feel like if I was to go on a night out or something, I'd feel like I'd want you guys there. I feel like you're someone that doesn't need like alcohol or anything to like, you know, get lit and have fun. I feel like you just naturally bring the party. It's reminding me of Snooki when she comes into the Jersey Shore house and she's like, "Party's here. Have you seen that? Like that first episode?" And if you think of it, like Snooki was iconic on that show. I feel like she was the one that really stood out. Very much one of a kind. It's like that energy that you bring. Because imagine a show like that without Snooki, it wouldn't have really been much of a show. Like, she really brought that, you know. So I feel like you're that sort of, you know, that sort of person. And then we have good fortune and friendship, the unicorn. the unicorn card, good fortune and friendships. Like I was saying, the loyalty, the ride or die, the helping them up when they're crying. Like I'm hearing crew by Ray, spelled R-A-Y-E, and I know there's like a bridge where she's almost like talking to someone, and it's like, what if I like talking about not wanting to go out because they just gone through a breakup, and then she's like talking to them like, oh no, you'll be fine, like dry your tears, let's go. And I'm hearing that, like, you're that party sort of person that, like, lifts people up in that way. I feel like you're a really good friend. And I think that's, even with your exes or people that you've been romantic with, that's a part that, and an element that people miss. The friendship behind it, the real ride or die behind it, you know? That's something that people miss, the genuinity. And the back of the deck, we have the King, authority and diplomacy. So I feel like you really do stand up for what you believe in. You have your... The thing is, sometimes when people get into relationships or friendships as well, they might even lose themselves or blend themselves to be like the other person. I've dealt with people that have blended themselves to very much be like me or tailored to my needs. I've seen people do that with myself. And I feel like you don't do that. You're someone that already knows your own standards, what you're passionate about, your likes, your dislikes. So you have your own life there without someone else. And that's coming through with the temperance energy too. So it's like when people come into your life, it's like you really stand firm in your own beliefs and don't get swayed by other people in that way. And I think that's something that people miss about you. You just being your own genuine person and being independent in that way. That's something that people miss. So pile 2, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm gonna have the link to Smokey Tara's channel in the description so you guys can go and watch part 2. I'm sending you guys all my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what people miss about you when you're gone. So you guys chose the Malachite. I'm going to place this in the corner and we are going to get straight in. I'm going to start with tarot and then we'll move on to the oracle cards. When I opened up to your pile straight away, pile 3, I felt this tingling sensation on my third eye and I was being shown a really deep blue. So I think it's more so your energy right now. I feel like you are having activations in your third eye, but I'm also being told that mediumship may be breaking for some of you. You guys may be finding that your imagination is super strong right now. Your ability to visualize, this isn't anything to do with the reading, it's just coming through really quickly. Your ability to visualize and make something like appear in the physical through just imagination is ramping up, and it may seem on heat right now. It may seem really strong to the point that you're like, oh my god, what's real life like? But the reason being is that's your it's almost being exercised right now because of your abilities, your clairvoyant abilities really opening up and becoming a lot stronger, and being shown a full flower in your third eye opening, like a bud just opening. And I see you guys having those abilities come through really strongly with mediumship as well. So you guys may find that you're starting to see auras or start to see spirit around you. If you're not ready for that, that's fine. You can tell your spirit guides you're not ready, and that's fine, and you can ask them to turn it down or tone it down. But as far as clairvoyancy, I feel like you've always had the ability, but I feel like it's really like breaking through, because I feel like you're okay, the reason it's breaking, it wasn't even that it was dormant, it was always there. I just feel like in the past, you may have had people that gaslighted you or taught you not to believe in yourself or your own intuition. So you may have been dependent on other people or guilted yourself or gaslighted yourself out of not believing certain things. Whereas you've been doing work to step into your power that is now allowing that facade of you not trusting yourself to fall away, which is why it's coming through. It's not that it's breaking, it's that a layer is being taken away, which allows the third eye to really come into full power without having any fear or doubts. That's actually what's happening. So that's what's bringing it in. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, that's something that came through straight away. So there's a bit of an applaud coming through, like you've just really peeled a layer back through some sense of shadow work that I feel was correlating to your root and your solar plexus. You may have been working on both of those chakras, or the shadow work you were doing was just, it was laying dormant in those chakras, but it's been sifted through. Interesting. Okay, so let's get into the reading then. Pile number 3. Please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. What do people miss about my pile number 3s when they're not around? What do people miss about my pile number 3s when they are not around? I'm hearing the song by, of course, Ariana Grande. I'm hearing positions, switching up positions for you in the kitchen and I'm in the bedroom. I'm hearing that come through. And you know, like, I'm sure in the video she goes round and round, or maybe that's a different video. I don't know why I'm being shown that, like, flipping to different scenes, but I feel like that's correlating to the reading. We'll see. Let me lay the cards and we'll see how that correlates. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. What do people miss about my pile number 3s? Pile number 3s. Okay, so we have death. We have temperance. Okay, this is really interesting. Pile number 3. Me stabilizing this energy. I mean, I'm going to keep pulling the cards, but there's an interesting story here. Pile number 3. 3 of Swords. What do people miss about my pile number 3s? Page of Wands. This reading's taken a funny turn because we've got the Two of Pentacles at the back of the deck. People, they're like, okay, I know this reading is like, what do people miss about you when you're gone? But I'm getting a whole lot of people coming through looking at you as a missed opportunity and something that they're missing out on now. Hear me out. Have you struggled to let people super close to you to be able to see your deepest layers? Reason I'm saying that is because it's like, okay, you're a very old soul. Let me just try and put it into words. You're a very, very old soul. You feel like a philosopher, a mystic, a high priest, high priestess, like that sort of energy. Like you are a seeker of like knowledge. Like you are one of those old souls. You like to be on your own. I feel like you like to be introverted, and I feel like isolation in ways for you at points in your life have been necessary for you to filter through energies, learn a lot about yourself, and really crack yourself open. You are someone that knows yourself. Like you've gone deep into your being, into your core to really understand yourself. But to become that person, there's had to be a level of sacrifice in your earlier life of connections and relationships. So I feel like people have tried to get close to you, and maybe you wanted to get close to them, but they were never able to come close enough to really truly see you, because you were always on this journey of evolution and you were always on this journey of transformation, that I feel like people were able to get tasters. You know, when you go to like Ben and Jerry's and you get to try like the chocolate fudge brownie in a little taster, or when I was in Bath the other day, they had like a fudge shop and you had like tasters of fudge and stuff. Like there's an essence of like people having little tasters and really liking what they're tasting, but then there's almost a barrier that they can't get further in. So I don't know whether maybe in the past you didn't feel worthy enough to receive love, so you may have kept people at bay, or may have been drawn to people that were emotionally unavailable, so they didn't even know how to give that love in that sense. So it's like the people in your life from your past, because I keep being taken to your past, right? I feel like you have a lot of people like, or ex-friends and ex-partners and stuff, or even family members from the past that were able to see fragments and lights of you, but they weren't really able to get the whole picture. They had pieces of the jigsaw and they liked the image, but they had no idea even how to get the other parts of you. And I feel like you were very careful on a soul level and a higher self level to not give too much of you. Enough of you to learn a lesson of maybe pouring into yourself, enough of you to learn a lesson where you learned about yourself, but it all then worked as a catalyst of you becoming who you are today. Now, the reason I've given you that story beforehand is because there's a lot of people that saw a little bit of the picture, liked what they saw, but almost felt energetically blocked, or life just took it in different ways where they weren't able to get the full piece of the puzzle, the full piece of the picture, because spirit were making sure that you, it wasn't even spirit, it was your higher self, making sure that you had enough time to get to know yourself, because you've and being shown like a snake, alchemist, like transformation. You've done so much work on yourself that you've gone to the core and rewired yourself to become the best version of you. We have this temperance card here. I feel like you've poured into yourself and really worked on wounds and imbalances, because we have the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like even in times with ex-friends where people may have counted you out and people may have thought, oh, that person isn't going to amount to nothing without me, or that person isn't going to do much in their life without me, that person's always quiet anyway. They didn't see all of these amazing parts of you. Now it's almost like you've turned yourself inside out. You're opening your wings to be like this peacock, because what's actually coming for you, pal 3, is that people feel they've missed out on you, because now you're standing there as this peacock because you've done all of this work, transformed, alchemized. So now people are looking at you with this Page of Wands, and it's like they almost feel like you're up here and they're down there. They almost feel like this isn't what I thought was going to happen. This isn't what I expected. People had thought that maybe they were going to end up, people that may have looked at you as competition at times and thought that they were going to be the one winning and you were going to be the one losing. And because they even had that mentality and brought the level of competition into their life, now in their reality, it's like you're winning and they're losing. In your life, you don't even see competition. You're not even looking at it like that. Your competition's in the mirror. You're becoming the best version of you. Competition doesn't exist in your life, so you're none the wiser. But people are looking at you like, wow, they're up here, I'm down there. And I feel like you've spent a lot of time stabilizing your energy. So now the missing feeling is people holding that one piece that they had of you with that jigsaw, and now being able to see that full mosaic, that full jigsaw, seeing that full picture. And it's like, oh my God, I want to be a part of that picture. But it's like they don't have that puzzle, piece anymore. Do you know what I mean? They weren't able to see that. So there's a lot of potential that people see in you, and a lot of the fragments that they got. I feel like people are holding to fragments that they got of your energy, memories that they had with you, those little sparks and lights that they had, holding on to them. And it's like, I feel like they hold on to it and savor it, and and I feel like that's your attentiveness, your healing energy. I feel like with the Malachite being chosen, your heart, your pure heart, the way you looked at life, you're almost coming through like a Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter, like the way she's just so mystical, and she's just almost wired into another reality in the way she moves about. But people almost like count her out, that she might not be that intelligent, but actually she's full of wisdom with the things she says, and it's her heart that's leading her. She has a really pure heart, and I feel like that's you. And I feel like people now are like just watching that. I feel like people saw you as like the Luna, you know what I mean? And I feel like even now you're almost like the Dumbledore. Like you may be from that pile the other day, the main character energy, where I said your energy is coming through like a Dumbledore energy. Like you may be from that pile because there's this essence of you being full of wisdom and really strong. And even now people are missing you, but then it's like you're cloaked in a way. Like people still, because they're not in your life, they're still getting fragments, but I just feel like you're coming through very powerful. Like you know yourself, you know your heart, you know the type of person that you are. So people are only able to project or presume because they just see images, or they just hear through the grapevine, or they're not as close to you as they could be. They're not able to see all of those layers. And quite frankly, I don't think certain people that do miss you would be able to comprehend the layers that you have, but it doesn't stop them from looking. So that's how it's coming through. It's almost like an ancient kind of like goblet in like a glass case that people can only ponder of and wonder what it was used for, or what people did with it, or who used it. Like you're almost looked at in that way. There's such a mystery about you, and it's not a fog, it's like a crystallized capsule of protectiveness that people almost look at you. It's like, oh, like you're untouchable. You're like mist, you can't grab it. That's how people are looking at you. And I feel like people are then looking at you like a missed opportunity, and there's a lot of pondering or what ifs, yeah, I want to get deeper. I actually want to get deeper with this spirit guide. So I feel like you've been so many different people too, in the sense of how much you've transformed. The thing is about healing, and like I said at the beginning, it wasn't that anything was breaking. You were pulling layers off. I feel like you had so many projections and layers of other people and needs of other people like on you. Parts of you came through, but there was also like the subconscious shadow that was also there too. And I feel like every time you peeled off a layer, you came through with a different energy, and you pulled off a layer and pulled off a layer and pulled off a layer. And then it was like people were seeing all those different parts of you, and now you're at your core. But now there's more layers around you, but it's like a misty, like protective energy around you. It's like you're coming through like the fairy godmother sort of energy. And I feel like people feel like they wish they were with you on that journey to become that. People miss their, people feel like it's like Dorothy going down the yellow brick road. Like, I'm guessing if someone met Dorothy before she did it, and then who she was at the end, and then they hear the journey that she went on and all the people she met, they're looking at her at the end then, and they're like, oh my God, like I really missed that journey. I missed out on seeing that person step into themselves. So there's a lot of I missed out on it. Instead of I missed out. I missed out. That's what's coming through for you guys. So let's pull some oracle cards, pile number. Yeah, I feel like you have a lot of stories to tell as well, and people are like, oh my God, I wish I was there, or I wish I could have stood next to them for that, or I wish I could have witnessed that, I wish I could have been around when they were coming into themselves like that, I wish I could have been a part of that, I wish I could be a part of their life now. And it's like, I wish I was woven into their pathway. It's like, that's where it is. There's a lot of like wishful thinking sort of thing. Pile number 3, we have your luck will change, the black cat. I'll lay these and then I'll channel them. Pile number 3, what do people miss about my pile 3s? We have the Sphinx, choose your words carefully. Pile number 3, what do people miss about my pile number 3? I'm hearing that TikTok sound and it's like, I miss the girl you were. And then the person says, of course you do, she was easier to kill. And the reason that I'm hearing that, we have a close friend acts on your behalf, the golem. The reason I'm hearing that is because one thing that some people miss about you, and this is people that might have been able to take advantage of your kind heart in the past, people miss certain people that you know aren't very good for you. Certain people miss being able to, I'm here manipulate your generosity and kindness in ways. And I feel like it's happened in different ways. I feel like there was a period of time where people were, there's certain people here were able to get you to cater to them, self-sacrifice for them, or maybe stay small for them. And it's those people that miss that version, because now you're in your power. It's like, oh my God, I could never do that to them now. They eat me for lunch sort of thing. And then there's other people that were around when you started to put in boundaries, but you were dealing with triggers. And I feel like people knew that you had a kind heart, but then would try and project onto you that you were the bad guy, or you were the narcissist, or try and really push your buttons to have you react so that they could make you out to seem like the bad guy. So they could have been really poking at you to the point that you reacted, and then it was like, see, you're bad. People miss being able to get a reaction out of you in that way. Or I'm being told people miss you giving to them or even chasing them, because now you're in your power and it's like they want you but they miss the power play. There's certain individuals that added as a catalyst for you to become the person that you are, that miss the person that you were. Little did they know, them treating you like that had you become the person that you are, because it had you realize who you are, alchemize and become a very powerful person, whereas they didn't even realize. They thought they were doing it and you were going to go small and turn back into the seed. Little did they know, the more that they were chucking those storms and waters at you, it was actually being used to grow into a flower. I'm hearing Drake's lyric, the dirt that they threw on my name grew to soil, and I turned to soil and I grew up out it. It's time to figure out what y'all gonna do about it. That's what he says. And that's what I'm hearing for you guys. It's like you've really bossed up. So people feel like they miss being able to keep you as the bud, because now you're like blooming really big. It's like the sunflower, it just kind of shot up, you know what I mean? And it's like they're feeling like, oh, because I feel like you've dealt with people that really moved with their shadow. And I know we see the higher lens of everything, but at the end of the day, there are people out there that are like that, and you know this because you've dealt with them, that have just moved through their shadow. Pile number 3, we have seduction. Oh, passion and romance await. And then the back of the deck we have, I'll read these cards now. Oh God, the back of the deck we have the Harley Quinn. True feelings are masked. I think as well, you've learned with the back of the deck that knowledge is power, and that being so open with certain people that you don't trust yet, being so open that way, people can use that to your advantage. So you've learned to keep things to yourself. You've learned to use your intuition to know who to say things to and who not to. You've learned to really feel out and test people out before you bring them into your circle, to show those vulnerable parts of yourself. And I feel like people miss you just maybe telling them everything or putting your trust in them straight away because it gave them an advantage, and now you're not doing it. So it's like, oh, I feel like I've got to play chess to get into this person's life now, but they're really good at chess. Like, I've missed an opportunity here, because had I really stayed around, then I would still be there. And you know what I mean? It's almost like a labyrinth trying to get into their energy now, and I miss having the access to it, because they've like, this is, you're almost like being looked at like honeydew, like golden energy that's like kind of emitting from like a vine sort of thing, like that juice coming through. And it's like, that's how you're being seen. But it's like, how do they make it? How do they get there? What do they water themselves with? You know what I mean? What type of person are they now? What are they into now? Like, I want to know. I want to be a part of their life. But there's such a mystery of how to get there, you know? Your luck will soon change. The black hat. What do people miss? Pile number 3, your luck will soon change. Yeah, you guys are my psychic pile. I feel like you might have helped people out psychically, or in a healing essence, really helped them out, like empathy wise, held space for them, you know, maybe even done work for free psychically for them, like tarot readings, astrology readings, palmistry readings, and really given them some sacred knowledge in ways that I feel like that's something that people might miss about you as well. It's like that person had an advantage and I didn't see it at the time. Or maybe like you guys were open about spirituality and wanted to show them that advantage, but they didn't believe in it and didn't care. And now they might want to get into it and understand it more. And you would probably be the best person for that. You know what I mean? Because I'm being shown the Dumbledore energy. You'd be the best person for that, and your wisdom, and they know this, but then they can't get in. It's like they want to know something that is sacred, but they are like at a beginner level, but you were a master, and you were a master when you were around them, and they could have got guidance from you just because you were in their life, but now they can't. So it's like, oh, you know what I mean? How do I, like the Krabby Patty secret formula, how do I get the ingredients? They're plankton and you're this formula. You know what I mean? So there's something about that too. And then the Sphinx, choose your words wisely. There's a regret of how someone spoke to you. It's one person. It feels like a more masculine energy. There's a regret, a strong regret coming through of words that were said. Why is that coming through so strong, spirit guides? Choose your words carefully. There's someone that sees the person that you are now and what you've grown into and feels like, it's not even feel, they know they were a part of the problem and they're feeling very guilty. I don't know if they'd say it out loud, but they feel guilty. They know what they did. They know the tactics they use. Maybe they've heard you talk about it since and how you grew from it. Because there's a feeling of like, I know I contributed to that, and I know that person's on about me, or I know that me treating them that way, and now they're in their power, like now they know what I did, or now they're more aware of how I was treating them, and now I feel guilty because now I'm caught doing it, because now they're aware of it. Whereas in the past they may not have thought you were aware of it, but it's like now they're more wise to it, and it's like, oh. So there's a feeling of that coming through. This missed opportunity for you guys more so than anything. A close friend acts on your behalf. You may have even been drawn to 2 piles. A close friend acts on your behalf. See, this is the thing. It's hard to get really deep into your circle, and I feel like only few people and only few friends actually see you. And I feel like it's not even then a case of what do they miss about you, because they're always around you anyway. I feel like you may have like one particular friend that you've had for a really long time, or even if it's not friends but siblings, I feel like there's someone, or maybe 1 or 2 people that know you as deep as they can go, right? And it's deeper than anyone else has gone, and it's not coming through that they miss you because they're still in your life, because you're one of those people where it's like, I'm only going to let you this close if I energetically feel right, and if my higher self thinks and can see that that's right. I feel like with that, you've allowed certain people to get close, but they're still stuck to you like a limpet. There's nothing missed because they're still a part of you. That's what I'm being told for you guys, which I feel is more family than friends, but I feel like there could be friends that feel like family because of how long they've been in your life or how close you are. That's why it's not coming through of they miss you, because I feel like they're still around, you know. And then we have seduction, passion, and romance await. I don't even think people have felt your love, and this is the thing of the missed opportunity. I feel like people may hear you speak of love, or people may see the person that you are now and how you can give in love. Maybe you're in a relationship and people are seeing how you love and they see it as a missed opportunity, because I don't think anyone's been able to really see how deep your love can really go, especially in a healthy way. I feel like people haven't seen that, but people are pondering about it in a missed opportunity sort of way. They've missed out, you know. And we know you have a beautiful heart, not just because you were able to alchemize all of your shadows. You literally were drawn to the malachite, which is for the heart chakra. Love that. Love that for you. I feel like this is the story of an empath that turned into an empowered empath. But there's something very old soul about you that's really kept you protected from people pulling too much from you. You may have had connections that were very short-lived connections. Love this. So pile 3, that is what I have for you. I really hope that this resonated and I hope you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm going to have the link to Smokey Tara's channel in the description box. You can head over there and watch part 2. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 4, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what people miss about you when you're gone. So when you're no longer in their life, what do they miss about you? So you guys chose the black obsidian. Well, I don't know if it's obsidian or tourmaline. I think it's obsidian. I bought it years and years and years ago. I think it was like 2016, I think it was. And it didn't have a name. Just came like this. So I don't know. I was just drawn to it. But I think it's obsidian. I don't know why I'm going back and forth about what it is, but yeah, let's get into the reading. So when I was actually opening up to your energy panel before, I sound really Welsh today. When I was opening up to your energy, I was being shown bright yellow coming through. So I feel like it's more so what you're going through right now. I feel like you guys are going through an expansion in your solar plexus energy. Yeah, really, really strongly. Really, really strongly. It's an expansion. I feel like it's opening up. I feel like you're opening up to new parts of your personality and confidence that you haven't tapped into before. Maybe because of work that you've been doing, maybe because of work and releasing that you have done. I feel like you're opening, I'm being shown like new doors opening in that area. So confidence you didn't know you had, that feeling of worthiness you didn't know you had, like creativity that you didn't even know you could embody. Like it's all opening up to you now, and that's coming through in your energy as I open up to you guys straight away. So yeah, that's something that I'm picking up on. So pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What do people miss about my pile number 4s when they're no longer around? Similar to pile number 1, because when I tapped into pile number 1, the first thing I was shown was that there's a scent that they have that people miss. You know, like when someone always has that signature scent and then it like, that's their scent forever, and then whenever you smell it you miss them. I feel like you have the same vibe and the same energy, but your smell is coming through different to pile number 1's. Your smell's coming through like I don't know if you've ever smelled the Nicki Minaj perfume Onika, or Rihanna's perfume, I think it was called Rogue, or Sevieste Belle, or like an Alien, Ariana's perfume God is a Woman. Like they have very like distinct smells, but it's really strong. And you know, Mugler, Angel, like they have very strong distinct smells, and I feel like you may have a perfume or a cologne that's very like that, you know, like Dior Sauvage for men, like that smell. Like you have a very, it stands out. And I feel like when people smell it, or if you've been staying in the house or something, or wearing something of theirs and then you're gone, I feel like that's something that like brings back the memory of you. That's what's come through for you. So pile 4, please, spirit guides. What do people miss about my pile number 4s? What do people miss about my pile number 4s? I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like you're coming across as one of those people where it's like, you know, when you hear people say, oh, it's that person's world and we're all just living in it, there's almost an essence of that coming through. I feel like you're very focused, you're very driven, and I think that that's something that people really admire about you and look up to about you. I almost feel as well, like, I feel like you do have like siren energy, like that's something that's coming through, but I'm being told like a strong divine feminine essence where people almost, I don't know whether you have people that feel super drawn to you and feel like they need to like cater to you, or you find that people try and please you or try and mimic you or mimic what they know you like to please you in a way. But I feel like that's almost something that people miss about you. I feel like you draw in people that want to give to you, or want to kind of like make your day, or want to kind of like compliment you. So they may try and mirror you to stand next to you, and I think that people miss that about you when you're gone, because it's like it almost gives them a drive in a way, it almost gives them a purpose in a way, or like a focus in a way. I feel like when you are in someone's life, they do put a lot of focus on you, that when you're gone it's very felt. I'm picking up strong Leo, I'm picking up strong Scorpio, I'm actually picking up a lot of the fixed signs strongly, so Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio and Leo coming through. Like there's something very fixed and it's like a staple. It's just coming through quite strong. So pile number 4, what do people miss about my pile number 4s when they're not around? I feel like when people come into your life, you really like revamp them just with your knowledge, your intuition, your intellect. I feel like people will walk away from you and have new words in their vocabulary, new ways of taking photos because you know the angles, new ways of dress. And you know, like I heard an interview the other day, and it was of Kanye and Kim, and apparently Kanye gave Kim this book which apparently was like this fashion bible, and really like did out her wardrobe and made her this kind of like fashionista that I guess she's claimed to be in the fashion world now. But I feel like people look at you like the Kanye of that, like you come into life and it's like, no, we're gonna be the best version of ourselves, watch me. But it's almost like a follow me sort of thing, so people kind of miss that when you're gone. It's almost like if someone, it's like you're the mentor, and then you know when the mentor's gone and then you have to do that thing on your own for the first time, and it's like, oh my god, I don't know how to do it. It's like that's when you're missed as well, you know what I mean? That's something coming through. Sorry for the noise outside, guys. Pile number, there's a guy who owns land behind my house, and he does like work there a lot, and my cats, all 3 of them, absolutely love it there. They disappear in the day and go and sit in the grass because it's been really hot, and I know they're annoying him. But that if you hear noise, that's basically the guy in that little field bit. Pile number 4. Pile number 4, please. Cards are jumping out for me, like proper sparking out like a lightning bolt. Page of Swords. I feel as well people miss, like, I feel like you're very quick-witted, and I feel like you're one of those people that will just say something as it is, and almost to a point where it's like, how do I explain it? Your rawness. I feel like you're a very raw person, and I feel like that's something that's missed when you're gone. The realness of you, the I take no ish side of you, I feel like that's missed, because I feel like whoever you're around, it bleeds onto them, and then they start to take on that energy of like being like that and putting in boundaries, because you have an immense love for yourself, and at least that's how people view you, and you have an immense respect for yourself. So it's like, I should really, you know, have that energy towards, you know, life too, because then I love people that have respect to me, because when we give off that energy and we give it to ourselves, we radiate it out, so other people will have them respect, because it's that aura. And I feel like you have that naturally, so I feel like people may try and mimic that, and I feel like maybe friends and people in your life, like they may have tried to mimic that, so when you're gone, it's like they may feel a little bit like, I don't know what to do with myself now, I don't know what to do now that, you know, because I feel like you have got like that blueprint energy, sort of energy, you have got that trailblazer energy, and I feel like when you're gone, then people don't know maybe how to style that outfit or how to look at life in that sort of way, and it's almost like they almost lose a bit of the drive then, and they miss that about you. There's an immense focus of people around you that focus on you. And it's not like you being narcissistic and not giving to them. I feel like you're a very giving person, but I feel like people really want to pour into you, and I feel like the people that are really close around you, they pour into you, you pour into them. But I feel like it takes a minute for people to really break through those layers and get into your inner circle. You may be the future energy of my pile 3, so you could have come from my pile 3 pile, been drawn to both piles, and then come here and asking about future energy, or pile 3 could have been your past energy and pile 4 is you now. But yeah, there's this energy of like, I have this protective layer around me, and you've got to be really careful of like how you come in. One wrong move and you're out. I don't play that. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like people miss the way you pour into them when they've really seen that part of you, when they've really seen your core and the way you go so deep and pour into them. It's like people really miss someone not being able to touch them that deep. That sounds wrong. Somebody not being able to dwell that deep with them, you know, moving forward. I feel like people miss you then. They miss the depth, they miss the closeness. It's like, I feel like when you're in a relationship as well, you almost consume people. Not that it's anything you do, it's just your aura. It's just you are a very deep lover. I'm being told that people miss that, you know, people really miss that side of you then. But I also feel like your own depths may trigger people and then protect you. So it's like people might not be able to go that deep, so then it triggers them and then they run, and then you're almost like saved from their inability to be able to handle it, where they could have hurt you or disrespected you. So you've been saved in ways there. Pile number 3. Am I putting these upright or upside down? Spirit said upright for today. That's fine. You can just read both of the dual energies. 9 of Wands. 7 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. Back of the deck we have the 4 of Wands. Yeah, it's almost like what people miss about you when you're not around is like being around you. It almost feels like a secret club. Like it's a luxury to be around you. And I think that people are aware of that you don't let a lot of people around you, and you don't let people see a lot of sides to you. So it's a luxury. Do you see how it took me a while to get into your energy? I had to really like dwell in. It's almost like your higher self was like, yeah, you're gonna work for it, you know, because now we're here. So yeah, I feel like pile 3, I feel like when people aren't in your life, then they almost feel like it's an exclusive club they're left out of. It's like their name's been taken off the list, you know what I mean? They've been taken off the PR list to that like celebrities makeup brand or something, and they can't review it anymore. They have to go and buy it, whereas before they would have just been able to have it because they were tight with the person, but they made one wrong slip and then they don't get the PR package anymore. It's like, it's something like that. Like I just feel like people feel like it's kind of like gold dust, so they almost feel like they just, I keep saying like a lot. I think you're very aware of yourself and how you come across, because I've been so aware of little things as I've been speaking. Like I've said like 100 times, I sound very Welsh today. Like I keep thinking the noise outside, I keep being aware of things that I'm doing. I think that one, you're super analytical, so maybe you pick up on stuff like that when people are reading. So no one's able to hide anything from you, and I feel like people miss that about you, that you're able to really see through them. But also I feel like you're able to do that because you're super aware of yourself. You're super aware of how you come across in your own traits and little characteristics and things like that. So you are so aware of yourself, you're able to see that deeply in other people. So people miss the transparency in that as well. Super interesting, because I could feel it, because I'm like, oh, I've just said like 100 times, or I've just done, you know what I mean? So I feel like even the crystal, like I didn't just tell you it was a crystal. I was like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. My unsurety of it came out. So you're able to pull that out of people, where people still feel really seen then, which in a way can be comforting to people. So then when you're gone, it's like, well, they saw those deep parts of me, and now no one's going to be able to see them parts of me. And it's like, oh, I missed that, you know? You're able to really pull that out of people, which I really, really love. I think as well, people, it's like, I keep being shown like you're here, and then there's like the spiral all around you protecting you, and I feel like people like enjoy going around it, that when they're knocked off the yellow brick road for whatever reason, how deep they went, it's like there's a desire to get back on it and get deeper and know more about you. There's a desire to, you know, go through this fog, go through this smoke and get to know you deeper. You know what I mean? And I think the more deep they go, the more expansive your life is, the more expansive your personality is, the more rich they feel. You know what I mean? The more you enrich them. So it's like you feel expansive with this Wheel of Fortune energy, the more they come closer to you. You have a lot to offer that when you're gone, it literally is like, I used to buy Gucci and Louis Vuitton and now I buy, you know, what, I don't know, other things, but you know what I mean? Like now I'm not buying that anymore. It's like, imagine having a taste of the final life and having it taken away from you. That's what people feel when you're not there. That's what I meant to say. You know, it's like drinking $500 champagne and then having to have like $9 Prosecco. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not, you can tell the difference when you're going back down, and I feel like people feel like that. That's how they kind of like miss you, you know? Yeah, let's pull some oracle cards now. Before we do, what's this Four of Wands about? What's this Four of Wands about? I feel like when people are in your life as well, you look at them like, I want to build with you. I want to create stability with you. I want to go as deep to your roots as I can, so you can go as deep to my roots as I can, and then we can build. Because I feel like you're very aware that a tree can only grow super high if its roots are really deep. And I feel like that journey, I feel like people, you know, going through that journey of seeing your depths and being able to build with you and having that idea of what life could be with you, I feel like the what they've created in their mind, the projection that they've created of what could be, people miss the reality of that. People are like still going over the blueprints of a scrapped house where maybe you've cut them off and they're like, this really could have been great, this really could have been a beautiful house, but it's not there anymore, and the production isn't going into it anymore, and it's like, I miss what it could have been, you know? Walking around, everyone's like, wow, this could have really been something. And that's something that people miss as well about you. I feel like for someone to be in your life, they have to really like know themselves and commit, because you're a very fixed person. I feel like we're committing to the death of us sort of thing. I'm being shown the corpse bride, you know? It's like till death do its part sort of thing. I feel like you're really deep like that and super fixed, so it's like, yeah, people miss that for sure. Pile number, we have the seer, follow your intuitions. Like I was saying, you see through people, and I think that's something that people miss. People can't hide a bad day from you. People can't hide, you know, certain things from you. And I think you've helped heal people and bringing that up and maybe triggering people in ways. And that's something that people miss about you. You being able to spot things, you know, because they could be, let's say, in another relationship or another friendship, and that friend doesn't spot that they're upset, but they don't feel confident enough to say it. But if you were there, you would have been able to spot it straight away or understand it straight away, because it's a way of reading the soul that not a lot of people around, you know, some people might not have. And I think that's when people miss you. Your eye for things too, just like your eye for design and your eye for you know, creating a vision and bringing something to life. I feel like that's something. We have strength and wisdom, the dragon. I bet you that dog is barking at my cats. I can 100% guarantee you. Softie used to stand on the wall and there was a dog next door, and she used to tease the dog and like go in front of it and then jump back up to make it back. She used to proper wind the dog up, to the point that my neighbour was like, your cat keeps winding my dog up on purpose. I'm like, well, what can I say? She's a bad bitch. But I don't know why I told you that, but there we go. See, I'm just telling you things. I'm just literally telling you things because you just bring it out of people. Love that. Absolutely love that, because I'm quite private with my stuff too. So the fact you're bringing that out of me, I feel like you could just talk someone out of the national insurance number if you really wanted to. Like I honestly feel like you could. And you wouldn't even have to say anything, just looking in their eyes. Like, that's just the person you are. Strength and wisdom. I mean, there's wisdom that comes from seeing yourself in your entirety and in your depth. So, and there's a strength that comes, and a strength that's needed to be able to go that deep. So I think that whole presence, that energy is something that, you know, is missed. Definitely. They came out together. I feel like a lot of people as well, because of your depths, I feel like people look at you and are like, I'll look back at you and I like, that person was definitely my soulmate. Or I know people like say twin flames, like that person was definitely my twin flame, or that person was definitely my you know, my life partner. I feel like people do think that of you. We have the Raven, darkness looms on the horizon. And we also have, it came out with the Oracle, seek wisdom and guidance from elders. Yeah, so I feel like when people can't see that through their darkness, you're so well endowed in the darkness and so aware of your own shadow. It's probably why you chose that crystal, that you're able to go into their dark parts with them and shine a light and help them through it. And that's why we have the Oracle, because they look at you as the Oracle and the wisdom that helps them get through their pains in ways. I feel like you've been able to do that for people. And I feel like even when you haven't, this is for people that are super deep and close with you. I feel like that's how they've seen you. But people on the outside looking in, I feel like sometimes your own worthiness and self-worthiness and self-confidence has triggered people into their own darkness to try and become the best version of themselves too. And you were just a stranger walking down the street. I feel like you have that there too. So you do leave quite a strong imprint in people's brains in that way. And in the back of the deck, we have got the Golem. A close friend acts on your behalf. People miss your loyalty, and people miss the way that you would maybe stand up for them when they weren't around. I feel like you're that type of person. You don't need like that person around to stick up for them. Even if they're not there, you'll still stick up for them. I feel like people miss the loyalty that you have, and the ride or die that you like literally have, where it's like, we're in this till from this life to the next life. People feel like that when they get super close to you, and it's something that they really miss when you're not there, sort of thing. So Pathful, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next channel. And I'll have the link to Smoky Tarot's channel in the description box, so you guys can head over there and watch part 2, and I hope you enjoy over there too.